Good morning, everybody. In previous lecture, we have seen what do you mean by heat reservoir. Okay, the heat reservoir is a body of infinite capacity capable of absorbing or rejecting an unlimited quantity of the heat without changing in its temperature. And then we had seen the concept of source and sink. Okay, so if heat is supplied from a reservoir to a system, then it is known as the source. And if heat is rejected to a reservoir by a system, it is known as a sink. Means sink is absorbing the heat and source is supplying the heat. Okay, so this source and sink, both the concepts are very much important, because we will have to now concentrate on second law of thermodynamics. What do you mean by second law of thermodynamics? We have seen there are some limitation to the first law of thermodynamics. Okay. So when there are limitation to the first law of thermodynamics, so here the second law of thermodynamics is totally based on such limitations, and some new concepts were invented by the scientists. So there are two statements of the second law of thermodynamics. First statement is known as the Kelvin-Planck statement, and second statement, it is known by the name of the Clausius statement. First of all, let us concentrate on Kelvin-Planck statement. Kelvin-Planck statement. What is Kelvin-Planck statement? Kelvin-Planck statement is related with the heat engine. And what do you mean by heat engine? Heat engine is a device which converts thermal energy to the mechanical energy. Thermal energy to mechanical energy means due to combustion of fuel, heat is going to be produced over there, and that particular heat is utilized to convert it into the mechanical work. So the thermal work is converted into mechanical work in the heat engine. An internal combustion engine is the excellent example of this heat engine. हीट इंजन यानी क्या है? हमारे ऑटोमोबाइल में, जनरेटर में जो इंजन लगा हुआ रहता है उसे हम हीट इंजन कह सकते हैं, बिकॉज इट इज इंटरनल कंबस्शन इंजन. एंड व्हाट इज द Kelvin-Planck statement? Kelvin-Planck statement is, it is impossible to construct a heat engine which operates in cycle and converts all amount of the heat into equivalent amount of work. केल्विन क्या कहते हैं? Kelvin-Planck कि ऐसा हीट इंजन प्रोड्यूस करना इम्पॉसिबल है जो साइक्लिक प्रोसेस में वर्क होता है और जो कुछ सारी हीट प्रोड्यूस हुई हो वो वर्क में कन्वर्ट करता है. इन अदर वर्ड्स, यानी कि Kelvin-Planck क्या कहते हैं कि जो भी हीट जनरेट होती है वो सारी की सारी वर्क में कन्वर्ट होना इम्पॉसिबल है. ओके, एंड इन अदर वर्ड्स द सेम स्टेटमेंट टोल्ड बाय Kelvin-Planck you can write simply, it is practically impossible to construct a heat engine which operates in cycle with 100% efficiency. जो हीट इंजन साइक्लिक प्रोसेस में ऑपरेट होता है और 100% इफिशियंसी देता है, ऐसा इंजन प्रोड्यूस करना इम्पॉसिबल है. एंड दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग इज टोल्ड by Kelvin-Planck statement. In Kelvin-Planck statement, So statement is very easy. It is practically impossible to construct a heat engine which operates in a cycle with 100% efficiency. यानी कि जो भी हीट या जो भी एनर्जी प्रोसेस में इन्वॉल्व होती है वो सारी की सारी एनर्जी वर्क में कन्वर्ट नहीं होती है। ये बात किसने बताई है? ये बात केल्विन प्लैंक ने बताई है। ओके, सो दिस इज द statement of second law of thermodynamics. Okay, give the heading Kelvin Planck statement. Kelvin Planck statement. Kelvin Planck statement. Write down. It is related to heat engine. 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 It is related to the heat engine. Dash. Heat engine converts thermal energy to mechanical work statement dash. It is impossible to construct a heat engine which operates in cycle and converts all amount of heat into equivalent amount of work or it is practically impossible to construct a heat engine which operates in cycle with 100% efficiency. With 100% efficiency. Okay. Now here two diagrams are provided in front of you. So the first diagram, which is about, it is actually the block diagram, and the first diagram is about practicable means the possible heat engine where efficiency is less than 100%, यानी कि जहां इफिशियंसी 100% से कम है, such engine is possible. Okay, so what is happening in this engine? There is a heat source reservoir T1. Okay, ये हीट सोर्स रिजर्वायर है T1 जो हीट सप्लाई करता है. वो हीट कहां सप्लाई करता है? हीट इंजन को सप्लाई करता है. हीट इंजन में क्या होता है? वर्क जनरेट होता है. ओके, एंड हियर दिस Q1 is greater than W. This Q1 is greater than W. यानी कि जो हीट सप्लाई की गई हुई है वो वर्क से ज्यादा है. ओके, सो वर्क इज नथिंग बट द आउटपुट एंड Q1 इज नथिंग बट द इनपुट. And when your this output is less than your input, then your efficiency is less than 100%. यहां जो वर्क होता है that is Q1 minus Q2 and remaining जो Q2 है, that particular Q2 is absorbed by your heat sink reservoir T2. So heat engine is possible, but when it is possible in the heat engine, if efficiency is less than 100%, then it is possible. It means your work done, okay, your work done should be less than heat supplied. Heat supplied is a input and work done is the output. When your heat supplied is greater than your work done, then and then your efficiency will be below 100% and such heat engine is possible. Now here the second particular diagram is indicated over here, and this is the diagram where heat engine violating Kelvin-Planck statement. Violating means it does not obey the Kelvin-Planck statement. And what is shown here? Here it is shown that efficiency is 100%, which is practically impossible. ये practically possible ही नहीं है efficiency 100% होना. Okay, and what is the case here? Q1 is equal to W. Possible case में क्या है? Q1 is greater than W. लेकिन जब Q1 is equal to W means heat supplied, okay, heat supplied is equal to work done. Okay, heat supplied is equal to work done. So W is equal to Q1 और दोनों की वैल्यू जब सेम हो जाएगी तो your efficiency will be 100%. And it is not at all possible. ये ऐसे नहीं हो सकता है. Understand? And when all Q1 will be converted into W, then the losses will be 0. Means Q2 is going to become 0. And these two diagrams are telling about Kelvin-Planck statement. Kelvin-Planck statement and
hello sir,
just a minute. So the first thing is going to tell us about the practicable heat engine, means possible heat engine, and second diagram is the practically impossible heat engine. और उसमें से जो बेसिक डिफरेंस है वो बेसिक डिफरेंस क्या है? पॉसिबल हीट इंजन में हीट सप्लाइड इज मोर देन वर्क एंड इम्पॉसिबल में हीट सप्लाइड इज इक्वल टू वर्क. पॉसिबल में देयर शुड बी सम heat losses which is indicated by Q2, and in impossible heat engine your losses are denoted by Q2 is equal to 0, क्योंकि total heat generated is converted into the work done. Efficiency of the possible heat engine is less than 100%, and efficiency of your impossible heat engine is equal to 100%. And that practically impossible heat engine is there all heat supplied is converted into work, and it is impossible. Now my request is to you that please draw these diagrams in your notebook immediately. These diagrams are very much important. In the examination, they may show you the diagram and they can ask, what is that particular process? Is it practically possible heat engine or practically impossible heat engine? Such thing may come. So that's why this diagram is very important. This is the block diagram, and try to understand this block diagram. Okay. Right. Fast. Now here there is a second statement, and that second statement is known by the name of the scientist Clausius. Clausius statement. Now the first statement of Kelvin Planck, it was about the heat engine. Okay. First of all, take in into consideration, and you must know that heat engine is produces the work. Okay. Work is done by the heat engine, while here in a Clausius statement they have referred the heat pump. Clausius statement में क्या आता है? हीट पंप आता है, और केल्विन प्लैंक स्टेटमेंट में क्या आता है? हीट इंजन आता है. हीट इंजन क्या करता है? वर्क परफॉर्म करता है, और पंप क्या करता है? वर्क एब्सॉर्ब करता है. ओके, व्हाट इट इज डूइंग? इट इज एब्सॉर्बिंग द वर्क. ओके, it is absorbing the work. Heat pump is absorbing the work, and that we have learned in chapter number 5, power absorbing device and power producing device. So pump क्या है? Power absorbing device है. So it is mentioned in the Clausius statement that it is impossible to construct a device which operates in a cycle and transfers the heat from colder body to hotter body without consuming any work. Natural phenomena क्या है कि बॉडी, कौन सी बॉडी टेम्परेचर दूसरे बॉडी को देती है? हॉटर बॉडी अपना जो हीट है वो हीट कोल्डर बॉडी को देती है, एंड दे वांट टू बी इन इक्विलिब्रियम. इट इज नेचुरल फिनोमिना. जब आप ओपन एटमॉस्फेयर में दो चीजें एक दूसरे के साथ सिस्टम में रखते हो, तो जिस बॉडी का टेम्परेचर ज्यादा होता है, यानी कि जो ज्यादा हीट कंज्यूम करता है, वो बॉडी जहां कम टेम्परेचर वाली बॉडी को हीट जो होती है वो ट्रांसफर करती है. दैट पार्ट वी नो. लेकिन देयर आर सम डिवाइसेस. ओके, देयर आर सम डिवाइसेस, एंड दैट डिवाइसेस can transfer the heat from colder body to hotter body. Okay, heat क्या करते हैं? colder body to hotter body without consuming any work. It is not possible. अब ऐसे इक्विपमेंट कौन से हैं? रेफ्रिजरेटर, एयर कंडीशनर. क्या करते हैं कि कोल्डर टेम्परेचर हॉटर बॉडी को देते हैं. हम हॉट बॉडी फ्रिज में रखते हैं, तो वो क्या करता है कि जो कोल्डर टेम्परेचर, कोल्डर एटमॉस्फेयर है, वो अपना लो टेम्परेचर जो है वो हॉट बॉडी को देता है, और जो हॉट बॉडी है उसे भी लो टेम्परेचर पे लाता है. ओके, बट इट इज टोटली अगेंस्ट ऑफ नेचुरल फिनोमिना. दैट इज द फोर्सफुल एक्शन. ओके, ये ऐसे नॅचरली नहीं होता है, नैसर्गिकरित्या असं घडत नाही. सो forcefully we are doing it, and we are using the proper equipment, and that equipment are nothing but the power absorbing devices. तो क्लॉसियस जी ने क्या कहा है कि ऐसा हम मींस इट इज इम्पॉसिबल टू कंस्ट्रक्ट डिवाइस. ऐसा डिवाइस जनरेट करना टोटली इम्पॉसिबल है जो साइकिल पे चलता है और विदाउट कंज्यूमिंग एनी वर्क, और कोई काम किए बिना, कोई वर्क किए बिना वो कोल्डर बॉडी जो होती है, कोल्डर बॉडी से हॉटर बॉडी को हीट ट्रांसफर कर सके विदाउट कंज्यूमिंग वर्क। कोल्डर बॉडी से हॉटर बॉडी को हीट ट्रांसफर कर सके, ऐसा इक्विपमेंट अब तक नहीं बना है। इट इज इम्पॉसिबल। इन अदर वर्ड, हीट कैनॉट बाय इटसेल्फ फ्लो फ्रॉम लोअर टू हायर टेम्परेचर। जो हीट है वो हीट ऑटोमेटिकली बाय द नेचुरल फिनोमिना लोअर टू हायर टेम्परेचर कभी भी फ्लो नहीं होगी। नेचुरल फिनोमिना में वो कैसी फ्लो होती है, हायर टू लोअर, बट लोअर टू हायर टेम्परेचर heat flow, that flowing of the heat is just impossible, and that particular statement is told by Clausius। यानी क्लॉसियस जी का कहना है कि अगर आप कुछ वर्क कंज्यूम कर सके तो आप कोल्डर बॉडी से हॉटर बॉडी को अपना जो हीट है वो फ्लो करने के लिए मजबूर कर सकते हैं। और इसी स्टेटमेंट का सहारा लेके रेफ्रिजरेटर और एयर कंडीशनर, ये जो इक्विपमेंट्स हैं, ये इसी स्टेटमेंट का सहारा लेके बनाए गए हुए हैं। ओके, सो राइट डाउन क्लॉसियस स्टेटमेंट। क्लॉसियस स्टेटमेंट, it is impossible to construct a device, it is impossible to construct a device, it is impossible to construct a device which operates in a cycle, which operates in a cycle, which operates in a cycle and transfer the heat, and transfer the heat from colder body, from colder body, from colder body from colder body to colder body to hotter body, hotter body। Next, or 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 heat cannot by itself, heat cannot by itself heat cannot by itself flow from flow from flow from a lower to higher temperature, lower to higher temperature, lower to higher temperature। Now here also the same kind of the block diagrams are provided. And once again, the first diagram is a practical heat pump and second diagram is of heat pump violating Clausius statement. Now we can see that there is a heat source. Heat source means it is a hot body. For our understanding, we can write that this heat source is nothing but the hot body. Okay. And your heat sink, okay, your heat sink is the cold body or colder body. Now the Q2 is nothing but the heat of your sink. Here is the heat pump and this Q1 is a heat at your heat source. अब सिंक का टेम्परेचर ये सोर्स के टेम्परेचर से कम है और अगर मुझे इस ऐसे कंडीशन में कोल्ड बॉडी से हॉट बॉडी को टेम्परेचर या मुझे हीट टेम्परेचर रिड्यूस करना हो और हीट मुझे अगर वहां ले जानी हो तो मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा, मुझे इस पे वर्क करना पड़ेगा. वर्क शुड बी परफॉर्म ऑन द सिस्टम एंड वो वर्क क्या होगा, Q1 माइनस Q2. Q1 इज ग्रेटर देन Q2 क्योंकि Q1 की जो बॉडी है, द बॉडी इज एसोसिएटेड विथ Q1 is a hotter body and that's why temperature of Q1, heat at Q1 is more as compared to the Q2 and this is practicable. Practicable means कुछ वर्क परफॉर्म करके हीट पंप पे मैं कोल्डर बॉडी से हॉटर बॉडी को हीट का फ्लो उल्टा कर सकता हूं. मैं हीट का फ्लो कोल्डर बॉडी से हॉटर बॉडी तक ले जा सकता हूं लेकिन मुझे बाहर से वर्क उस पर करना पड़ेगा. ओके, दैट इज द प्रैक्टिकल थिंग. Now, here work is Q1 minus Q2. Now, the heat pump violating Clausius statement means practically impossible statement. क्या है? The same. Here, there is a cold body. This is the hot body. Here also, the heat is flows from cold body to hot body but without consuming any work because W is equal to 0 here. You can see W is 0. W is 0 means not any kind of the external work is performed on the heat pump. कोई भी external work heat pump पे perform किया गया नहीं हुआ है और ऐसी मशीन या ऐसा पंप बनना it is practically impossible. Okay, in naturally कोल्ड बॉडी से हॉट बॉडी तक हीट का फ्लो नहीं हो सकता है. ये बताने की जो हम कह सकते हैं ये बात क्लॉसियस जी ने हम सबको बताई है एंड दैट इज द सेकंड स्टेटमेंट. सो फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज द केल्विन प्लैंक स्टेटमेंट. इट इज अबाउट द हीट इंजन एंड इट टेल्स अबाउट द इफिशियंसी ऑफ दैट हीट इंजन. And second statement of the Clausius statement, it is about the heat pump, okay, and it tells about the external work done on the heat pump. That two parts you will have to keep in mind. Many times MCQs can be asked on these two statements. Okay, you should be in a position to clearly differentiate between the process. Now, without wasting much of your time, I request you, please copy down this diagram in your notebook fast. Now we have learned the perpetual motion machine of first kind. Okay, and now here is the perpetual motion machine of second kind. Perpetual means दीर्घकालीन, बहुत समय के लिए. So here, as far as heat engine is going to be concerned, the concept of perpetual motion machine applied to the heat engine is provided here. What we are observing? Okay, we are observing that there is a heat source reservoir. Source means it is supplying heat, and it is supplying this heat to the heat engine. हीट इंजन को वो हीट सप्लाई की जाती है, और हीट इंजन क्या करता है? जो हीट सप्लाइड हुई है उस सारे हीट का कन्वर्जन वर्क में करता है. सो हीट इंजन इज कन्वर्टिंग ऑल वर्क सप्लाइड from the heat source reservoir, it is converting into the work. And you know that it is just impossible. Okay, because we have learned in the Kelvin Planck statement the same thing. Okay, a cyclic device which abstract heat from single reservoir and convert it completely into the work is called as perpetual motion machine. And like perpetual motion machine 1, यह ऐसी परपेचुअल मोशन मशीन 2 भी अब तक बनी नहीं हुई है. तो अगर आप में से कोई इंटरेस्टेड है तो वो आगे जाके he can do further research on this PMM2, and if possible you can invent. Okay, so there is a scope for that development, but it is not at all possible, because this, once again, the things are all fundamental. It is not at all possible, not such any device is there in the world which can convert all the heat absorbed to the work done. जो भी हीट ली हुई है वो सारी की सारी वर्क में कन्वर्ट करने वाला एक भी हीट इंजन नहीं है. इट मींस देयर इज नो सिंगल मशीन इन दिस वर्ल्ड विच हैज 100% इफिशियंसी, क्योंकि सारी की सारी हीट जो एब्सॉर्ब की हुई है वो अगर वर्क में कन्वर्ट हो जाए तो उस मशीन का इफिशियंसी कितना हो गया? इनपुट इज इक्वल टू आउटपुट, then input output divided by input is going to be 1. It means efficiency is going to be 100, and such efficiency or such kind of the machine still means it is not at all available in the market. Okay, now take the heading perpetual motion machine of second kind, that is PMM2. PMM2, PMM2, perpetual motion machine of second kind. Second kind. Write down. A cyclic device, a cyclic device, a cyclic device, cyclic device which abstract heat, which abstract heat from a single reservoir, from single reservoir and converts it completely, converts it completely into the work, converts it completely into the work it's called as PMM2. PMM2, perpetual motion machine of second kind, PMM2. It is impossible to create perpetual motion machine 2. It is impossible to create perpetual motion machine 2 perpetual motion machine 2. Perpetual motion machine 2. Okay, is it understood? So this was all about the syllabus of our chapter number 8, thermodynamics. Now my friend, we will have to concentrate on the numericals. Okay, and these numericals are very much important. There are three types of the problems. Okay, first problems are P delta V. Okay, PDV. PDV means what? Pressure volume type of the work. Such kind of the problem is there. Second problem is once again the P delta V type of the problem, but variety is quite different. And third problem is totally dependent on first law of thermodynamics. So these three types of the problems we are going to study as far as this chapter is going to be concerned. Okay, now first of all, give the heading problems on PDV type of work. Give the heading problems on PDV type of work. PDV type of work. PDV type of work. And write down the problem. Write down the problem. Number 1, a non-flow reversible process. A non-flow reversible process. A non-flow reversible process non-flow reversible process one to two can be written by following equation. Can be written by following equation. And that equation is P is equal to V square plus 8 divided by V. See on a screen and then write the equation. Don't write wrong equation. P is equal to, in bracket, V square plus 8 divided by V bar. Determine the work done. Determine the work done if volume changes from 1 to 3 meter cube. From 1 to 3 meter cube. 1 to 3 meter cube. Okay. So this is the non-flow reversible process. Okay. Now, non-flow reversible process means process is reversible and there will not be flowing of the that heat. And it is written by the equation. There is an equation, and this equation is having two variables. First one is the pressure, and second variable is the volume. Okay, means pressure and volume is involved in the system. So when the pressure and volume is involved in the system, then that particular example will be of PDV work example. Okay, first of all you must understand तो अब पीडीवी वर्क का एग्जांपल हमें कैसे डिटरमाइन करना है. तो एक सिंपल सी प्रोसेस है. प्रेशर और वॉल्यूम में जो रिलेशन है वो रिलेशन एक मैथमेटिक्स के जो फॉर्मूला होता है उसके फॉर्म में दिया जाता है, और वहां दो वेरिएबल होते हैं, एक होता है प्रेशर एंड सेकंड होता है वॉल्यूम. नाउ कैन एनीबॉडी टेल मी दैट दिस पर्टिकुलर वॉल्यूम इज एक्सपांडिंग, means whether this particular all whatever material or that gas may be there, is it going to expand or it is going to be compressed? Because volume is given here. Volume
expand.
yes it is,
Expand.
yes absolutely correct, it is expanding because the at state 1 volume is 1 meter cube and at state 2 वॉल्यूम इज 3 मीटर क्यूब. यानी कि आपका जो वॉल्यूम है वो वॉल्यूम बढ़ता है, और जब वॉल्यूम बढ़ता है तो जो भी कुछ उसमें फ्लूइड होगा वो फ्लूइड क्या होगा, एक्सपांड होगा. ओके, सो दिस इज द स्टेट 1 वेयर योर वॉल्यूम इज गोइंग टू बी 1 meter cube, and at a taken state this particular volume is going to be how much? Can anybody tell me? 3. Okay, so it is going to be 3 meter cube. Our particular diagram should be in this particular condition. But I want to tell you one thing, that here the pressure is going to be same. Okay, so pressure is going to be same, and why pressure is going to be same? Because it is नॉन फ्लो प्रोसेस. प्रेशर वेरी कब होता है? जब उस पे जो फ्लो टाइप जो वर्क होता है, उस फ्लो टाइप वर्क में अगर फ्लोइंग का रेट थोड़ा सा कम ज्यादा होता है तो प्रेशर आपका वेरी होता है. लेकिन हियर द प्रेशर इज गोइंग टू बी कांस्टेंट. सो वी विल चेंज दिस पर्टिकुलर डायग्राम लिटिल बिट, and that particular change will be in this manner. This will be your state 1, this will be your state 2. Here the volume is V1, here your volume is V2, here your P1 is equal to P2 is equal to P. So your system is performing in this way. This particular volume is 1 meter cube, and here at state 2 volume is 3 meter cube. So diagram is not just important, it is just how system will be in a pressure volume diagram. Just I want to show you in by this particular way. The important approach to solve any kind of the problem is, first of all you will have to write the given things. आपको क्या करना है? Given things लिखने हैं. So what are the given things? First of all you need to write this particular equation. P is equal to V square plus 8 divided by V bar. Then you write volume V1 and V2. Now, if you want to perform the formula, calculate the work performed, the formula is W1 to 2 and integration of 1 to 2 P delta V. This is PDV type of the work. Okay. Now you can take this particular delta V. Okay. This particular delta V you can take just a minute. This particular dV, P, D and V, these three terms are involved in the particular system. Now here you can see that the P is given by the formula V square plus 8 divided by V. Okay, this P is given by this particular formula, and dV means this particular volume, it is actually changing. Here there is a factor, it is nothing but 10 raised to 5. And why this 10 raised to 5 we will have to bring into existence? Because here pressure is given in bar. Okay, and your work done is in joule. Okay, pressure is given in a bar and work done is given in the joule. So this is a conversion factor 10 raised to 5. Always keep in mind, अगर प्रेशर आपका बार में दिया है और आपको वर्क कैलकुलेट करना है जूल या किलो जूल में, सॉरी जूल में, तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, 10 raised to 5 से उसे मल्टीप्लाई करना पड़ेगा. दिस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट यू विल हैव टू कीप इन योर माइंड. ओके, you can note it down somewhere that if you want to calculate the work, write down, if you want to calculate the work, if you want to calculate the work and pressure is given in the bar, pressure is given in the bar, pressure is given in the bar, then while calculating the work done, multiply the PDV work equation, multiply this PDV work equation by 10 raised to 5, 10 raised to 5 dash, to convert it into joule, and next line, and multiply it with 10 raised to 2, and multiply it with 10 raised to 2. If you want to convert it into kilojoule, if you want to calculate it, not convert, calculate it into kilojoule, यानी अगर जूल में कन्वर्ट करना है तो 10 raised to 5 से मल्टीप्लाई करना है, और अगर आपको किलो जूल में कन्वर्ट करना है तो 10 raised to 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करना है. ओके, नाउ माय फ्रेंड, हियर concentrate to the screen. integration 1 to 2 p dv is the simple and standard formula. Now this p value we are going to take from the given things, and we have put it. Now 10 raised to 5 is the constant, and when you will take integration of v square will be v cube by 3, okay, plus this 8 into 1 by v is there, okay. So 8 into 1 by v, it means 8 into ln into v in bracket v1 to v2, that is लोअर लिमिट एंड अपर लिमिट. ये v क्यूब बाई 3 जो दिया हुआ है वो क्या है, वो v स्क्वायर का इंटीग्रेशन है, ओके. एंड 8 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 1v ये जो है उसका जो इंटीग्रेशन है वो इंटीग्रेशन 8 ln v ब्रैकेट कंप्लीट v1 टू v2 दिया हुआ है. नाउ वेयर देयर इज अ v, वी आर गोइंग टू पुट द अपर लिमिट v2 एंड वी आर गोइंग टू सब्ट्रैक्ट द लोअर लिमिट v1. तो यहां हम क्या करेंगे, v2 क्यूब बाय 3 प्लस 8 ln v2 माइनस v1 क्यूब बाय 3 प्लस 8 ln v1. Okay, now here we can put the values. So v2 कितना है, 3, we have put it 3 here. 3 का क्यूब डिवाइडेड बाय 3, 8 ln into 3, 1 का क्यूब डिवाइडेड बाय 3, 8 ln into 1. A simple thing is there. And now in engineering, you know that mathematical, to perform the mathematical calculation, engineering calculators are allowed. You can use the calculator over there and you can calculate the value. The value will be 1.745, and that 1.745 into 10 raised to 5 joule, or 1.745 into 10 raised to 2 kilojoule. Okay, that will be the answer. Once again I will tell you, a simple example is there. No need to draw any diagram, no need to perform any kind of the construction. Simply, first of all, write down the given things, concentrate on the unit of pressure. If it is in bar, okay, then you will have to multiply this particular equation by 10 raised to 5 to convert the work in a joule. If you want to convert into kilojoule, multiply with the 10 raised to 2. Then take the formula, work 1:2 is equal to integration of 1 to 2 p dv. Okay, 10 raised to 5 is the conversion particular factor. That conversion factor is constant, you take it outside the integration sign. Then v square plus 8 divided by v dv, means here you have put the formula of the p in the equation, and dv is as it is, you have taken from the equation. Now there is a vv and dv, equation will be in the integration form. Perform the integration of these all terms separately. Your integration will be v cube by 3 plus 8 ln v, limit will be v2 to v1. Now use every limit and rewrite the equation once again. यहाँ v2 limit use करके लिखा है, यहाँ v1 use करके लिखा है, and at last put the values, you will get the answer. And for the mathematical operation you perform, you can take help of the calculators. Okay, so this is about the first type of the example, simple example, pdv type example.